back to another episode of Let's Talk Boxing. I'm Leti.
I'm LB.
And let's get into the new championship fight that we had this weekend.
Yep.
So we had Shaquiefoster out of Orange, Texas, but fighting out of Houston, Texas.
Yep. AKA Ice Water.
Hey, so he was fighting against Rey Vargas out of Mexico.
Yeah.
So we got a new champ at the 130 division. What did you think about his performance?
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and let you go ahead and kick this one off.
Okay.
You know, what did you think? I know you had Rey Vargas.
Yes,
what did you think?
I did have Vargas winning this fight. I didn't know too much about Foster coming into this fight, but man, he looked really good. And I think this was a very clear fight that he won.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was close.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, they were saying in the fight that it was a little bit close. I was like, if Vargas does these continuous rounds, they might call it a draw. But Oshaki took over. He took over the show and he boxed his little ass off.
Yeah.
At first, it was like, okay, who's going to go in and more? Because it was like, we were talking about it. It was like a boxing chess match, if that's what you call it.
Mm-hmm.
I was waiting for someone to be, I was waiting for Vargas to throw his hands more. I felt like Foster did come in and he was trying to, he definitely boxed. And I think that he was trying to be aggressive at some points also. But I just feel like Vargas just wasn't having that. He wasn't letting go of his hands. Obviously his fight looked very different than the last fight, which obviously his opponent was a different style. Like they say, styles make fights. But I mean, I can't say nothing about Foster. Foster did his thing, and he definitely deserved that win. So
like you said, this was a boxing match. And Oshaki Foster. If you listen to our prediction, we talked about the skills, but his skills were on full display. I mean, he really showed a lot. Whether he was coming forward, he really was switching up. His approaches with Rey Vargas. Sometimes he was coming forward. Sometimes he was fighting off the back foot, and the speed was so evident. It wasn't. Vargas wasn't able to get the timing of him, and the speed gave him problems. Along with the boxing, and a lot of people were talking coming in that about the size of it, the length of Rey Vargas, and and the fact that he was coming up 122 and being the smaller fighter, and then even we kind of talked about it. But the kind of cool thing about this is he did not Oshaki Foster did not use his size to win this fight. He used nothing but his skills. His skills were the factor in this win. Yeah. A lot of people talked about the jab of Rey Vargas coming in, and that jab from Oshaki was landing, and it was looking good. Rey Vargas really didn't adjust to the fact that Oshaki Oshaki was he was just taking that little half step back. And he wasn't able to land a lot. You talked about the fact that he wasn't throwing his hands, and I think a lot of that is because he was really having a hard time, judging the range. And every time he went to throw, Oshaki was gone. But he was nowhere to be landed, and it started to frustrate Rey.
Yeah, Foster definitely got it. It was like if they both tried to do the jab at once, it's like Foster was able to touch Vargas, but Vargas was not able to touch Foster.
Yeah, and that right there is the skills, because he had that range. He knew how to land those shots, and also he countered very well. Against Rey Vargas in the fight.
Yeah, and I feel like honestly he could have probably dropped Vargas, if not maybe stopped him, because I feel like also Vargas probably wasn't letting go of his hands because he probably felt his power also. Yeah. They were talking to one of his previous coach, and they were talking about even him moving up to 126 to win that title was a little risky. And he goes, even going up to 130 like that fast for it to be his next fight, he goes, it was really risky.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that he felt that power. Maybe that's why he wasn't throwing them hands a lot, because towards the end, even in the last 12th round, it seemed like Vargas was really kind of hesitant to throw the hands because he was really feeling the power.
Well, and even coming in, I mean, when he talked about Oshaki as a fighter, he gave him credit in saying that you know, he thought he was a better fighter than Mark Magsayo. So, you know, so that's probably why he didn't take as many chances, because like we talked about, you know, Oshaki, you know, he's a more sharper fighter, and he has the skills to be able to make Vargas pay when he makes certain mistakes. Yeah. And it was evident in the fight when he was landing, you know, those sharp counters and right hands.
Yeah, and I mean, they just kept telling Vargas in the corner, like, go to the ribs, because I think they were trying to break it down and slow him down, because he was moving, like we said, pretty well. But I mean, what else you want to?
Yeah, and this was, I mean, and also to kind of talk about, you know, this fight. This was Rey Vargas' first time, you know, fighting this style, and it was just really hard for him to get going, because he wasn't able to land that jab. I mean, the defense of Oshaki was on full display. I mean, we know Rey Vargas to be a great, you know, a good offensive fighter, and to see him be, you know, neutralize his offense the way he did, it was impressive to see. And also for him to win a championship belt against someone like Rey Vargas, who's undefeated, two-weight champ. That's exactly how you want to win your first title. You don't want to get it, you know, a vacant title versus someone that doesn't have as many accolades as Rey Vargas. That's exactly how you want to win.
Yeah, that's amazing, and I'm really happy for him. He deserved it. Like I said, can't nobody say that this was a close fight or anything like that. Like, it was clearly his win. So congratulations to him. I did want to see them dab it up at the end, though. I'm not gonna lie. I think Vargas probably got kind of, I don't know. He said that he felt like it was closer than what the judges' scorecard said. And I don't think they did it. I don't think he got an interview or whatever after the fight.
He just said, I mean, he did get an interview, and pretty much what he said was that, you know, feet are meant for, you know, you can use the skills to get out of the way, you know, the feet. But he was running pretty much, and I was kind of disappointed when he said that, for the simple fact of he was not running in the fight, and he was in his face. He was coming forward and going backwards, and he was able to land on Rey Vargas. And if he's able to land, I mean, Rey Vargas got the height and the reach. Well, the reach is about the same, but still, if he's able to hit you, you're able to hit him as well.
That's right. I forgot that he did have an interview, and he did. I don't think they translated it right, but Vargas did say, you know, there's different types of feet. There's the feet that are for technical footwork, and then there's feet for running, and he was running. And that didn't sit too well with me, because Foster really, he boxed his ass off in that round.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
Like I said, he could have almost maybe stopped or dropped Vargas. And I didn't like the way he said that at the end. I think it should have been more respect. Like, you know, he did good. You know, he won that. And I feel like there should have been a dab at the end or something like that. I don't know. But I get it. I mean, you lost, and I get it. You're low, you know, disappointed. But
And this was what'd you think about this being his, you know, first fight without
Nacho. I don't know if his corner was telling him the right things of what to do. I don't know. I didn't hear too much of the corner, but I can't say that it would have been different, because Foster just he boxed his ass off. So I don't know that it would have been different if Nacho was there. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the part that a funny thing that happened with the corner. Well, remember when we were watching the corner and he got a cut on his eye and they were just wiping it? We were like,
without glove. I didn't see any Vaseline, so I was like, wait, are they not gonna put a Vaseline in that?
We're like, where the cut man at?
Yeah, but they did bring out the Vaseline. We saw the Vaseline afterward, where they were straight up just cleaning that blood. That's that blood on blood family person on the on the corner cleaning your blood without no gloves. But what did you think it would have been different with Nacho there?
You know, I don't think that it would have been different. I think it would have been, I think it would have been the same result. Just for the simple fact of the things that we kind of already talked about. But yeah, like you said, once again, it was an amazing performance for Oshaki Foster. Congrats, first champion ever out of Orange, Texas. And Houston also, they got another champion over there. Yep. So congrats to him. And but yeah, let's kind of get into who we want to see him fight next.
Who do you think is next for him?
Man, there's so yeah, there's a few fights that I would like, and there's a couple that I feel like could be easy to be made just for being on the same side of the street. We know that Hector Garcia still has his title. At 130, we just saw him in there with Tank. And so I think that's a matchup down the road. That's a matchup I would love to see. Probably coming off of that Tank fight, they'll probably want to get they'll probably want to get him in there with a tune-up first, because he did, he has been talking about, his eyes been, messed up. So I expect that. But also, it's going to be interesting. I wouldn't mind a Chris Colbert fight. I think that would be a good fight for O'Shaquie also. But we do know that Chris Colbert is going up to 135, so I'm not sure if he's plans to come back to 130 or not. But I wouldn't mind that fight. Or I wouldn't mind him to get the winner of Oscar Valdez and Navarrete.
That's the one I was thinking about next, but I think he's going to need a fight probably in between or whatnot. At some point he wants to unify, so he does have the option of Hector Garcia or, Navarrete or Valdez.
Yeah. No,
and that would be fun. Whichever fight, they decide to happen, I think it's going to be a good fight.
And to kind of talk about that, him and O'Shaquie and Oscar Valdez they actually have experience in history. They actually fought in the amateur, so I think that they could kind of sell that on a fight. It was a long time ago, and obviously, amateur boxing and professional boxing is different. But I wouldn't mind seeing that. I think they can kind of sell it, based on that.
Yeah, and I think their styles would match up pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
But the other thing, Rey Vargas, he still is a champion at 126 pounds, and after this fight, I do imagine him going. I do think that he is going to go back down to 126.
Oh, yeah, I think absolutely.
And so, is there any matchup down there that you would like to see? I got a couple. But is there any down there?
With the 126?
Uh-huh.
At the 126, I think, against Styles mixed fight, I think Gary Russell will look good against, that matchup will be good against Vargas and Gary Russell.
Yeah, and
Especially since Vargas had to talk about fighting Leo Santa Cruz, and that didn't happen. There was a little between Santa Cruz and Gary also. Just make it happen then with Vargas and Gary Russell, since none of them can make it happen with Leo Santa Cruz, then maybe they both fight.
Yeah, and the fact that they did, they had history too. The fight was ordered between the two of them, so maybe hopefully they can get in there and scrap. Also, there's another one. We know coming up this week we got Mauricio Lara versus Wood, and for the title, and I wouldn't mind him to get the winner of that. Also, but if we're just gonna look on the PBC side of the street, you already mentioned Gary Russell. I'm gonna even throw another one. What about Brandon Figueroa? That's another one.
Yeah.
He could. That could be a Mexican war right there. We know that Brandon Figueroa loves to come in and bang.
Fight. Yeah.
And that could be a dog fight right there. Yeah. And also, but we do know that he is scheduled to fight Mark Magsayo, so he would have to, get past Mark Magsayo. But I wouldn't mind that fight.
And then you can kind of, see or gauge how the fight's going to be after fighting Mark Magsayo. But then again, how we talked about Gary, Mark Magsayo took the belt from Gary, and I think it's only right that he gets a chance.
Yeah.
Because he was hurt. He was hurt in that fight, so I really would like to see Gary get another shot at the belt.
Yeah, it's got. Yeah, definitely. Gary needs a shot at it. So. So we would, as you can tell, there's a lot of matchups for both of these fighters, and we just can't wait to see him back. Yeah. But once again, a great performance for O'Shaquie Foster, a new world champion, and he also proved the point that hey, it's okay. You got these losses, you can still come back and do your thing. So it was good to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. But we enjoyed it.
Yeah, so we just can't wait to see him back in the ring. But let us know below what you guys thought of the fight. But that's all we got. So thanks for tuning in, y'all.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Or talk your shit.